What if I were to tell you that there is a checklist you can use to help you determine if an investment property is worth investing in? Well, guess what? I'm going to give you the checklist. And the good news about the checklist is there's only 3 things on it. So if you can go through each of these 3 things and they all check out for a property, you may have a pretty good chance for success with this property. So I'm going to tell you what those 3 checklist items are, and then I'm going to give you a few additional resources to help you dive further into each one of them. Are you ready? Grab your pen and your paper and write these 3 things down, or even a Post-it note and keep it near you at your computer or wherever it is that you evaluate deals, and go through the checklist for every property you look at. What are the checklist items? Checklist item number 1, the numbers. Any property you're looking at needs to pencil out on paper as showing a profit. Profits are measured in numbers. Therefore, you need to know how to run the numbers. You got to run the numbers on a property, because you'd be surprised how many properties you may look at where the numbers really don't pencil out to show a potential profit. You got to run the numbers. Anything that doesn't show a potential profit, trash it, move on to the next one. Now, if you find a property and it pencils out on paper, go to checklist item number 2, which is very important. Checklist item number 2 is sustainability of the numbers. What does that mean? Well, thinking back to the numbers from checklist item number 1, you ran all the numbers, and on paper, the property shows that it should profit. Keyword being on paper. You can run every equation possible. You can get every number possible. You can do the lengthiest of analysis on paper. That doesn't mean in the real world and going forward that those numbers will ever shake out. Well, what can cause them to not shake out as you penciled them out? Risk. If anything bad happens to your investment property, or any challenges come up, any unforeseen circumstances, that with one fell swoop can wipe your profit right clean off that paper. So running the numbers is important. So make sure it checks off that, yes, this property should profit. Checklist item number 2, you want to make sure that all of your risks are mitigated such that you can hopefully see those profits. So you're identifying the risk for your particular strategy. Every investment strategy has pretty known risk specific to it. And for this property in particular, can you mitigate those risks in some way with the property that you're looking at? Cool. Checklist item number 3, exit strategy. What does that mean? How are you going to get out of this property? Now, exit strategy can vary in terms of how critical it is. So flipping, for example, 100% of your profit is dependent on the exit from that property, because you're making money by selling the property, exiting the property. Whereas rental properties are a long-term hold. So you may not even think about selling that property, if ever, but maybe it's 30 years down the road, maybe it's 5 years down the road, but you're holding it for a while. So you have a little bit more maneuverability to adjust your exit to make sure that you're going to profit. Whereas flipping, if something goes kerplunk with the exit, you're up the creek without a paddle. So exit strategy, how are you going to get out of the property, and are you going to do it in such a way that allows for profit? So are you going to be able to resell the property? Sell it to who? Are the values going up or down in the particular market that you're investing in? You want to plan for the exit. Maybe you never exit. Like with rental properties, maybe you hold it forever. Maybe you never exit, and that's fine, but you want to plan for it in 2 different ways. Number 1, if anything unforeseen happens, kind of that sustainability, the numbers thing, can you get out of that investment if it goes south? Or long-term, or on the flip, are you going to be able to profit on an exit at any point down the road? So what are they? The numbers, sustainability of the numbers, exit strategy. If a property checks all 3 of those boxes, you're probably going to be in good shape. Now you might be asking, well, what if I don't know more about those different things? How do I run the numbers? What numbers should I be running? Well, how do I know what the risks are? How can I mitigate those? What are my exit strategy options? You got to learn these. If you don't know those things already, you're not ready to buy a property, which is fine. They don't even take very long to learn, so don't get discouraged. But you need to know how to run the numbers, what the risk and risk mitigations are, and exit strategy potentials, because they're critical. So to help you do that, I'm going to offer you a couple of resources. So running the numbers, I'm going to do 2 videos down below. One is knowing where your profit's coming from. You have to know where you're planning to profit on a property. And for rental properties, I can help you with those numbers. So I have a video for that as well. For risk and risk mitigations, I have a couple of videos about rental property risk. If you haven't noticed, I'm not a flipper, so I'm the rental property girl, so I can tell you about those. For flipping and all those, you got to go find those. And then lastly, I have a video that talks more about exit strategy. What things are you looking for? What things do you need to take into consideration? So if a property does not check the 3 boxes of the numbers, sustainability of the numbers, and exit strategy, run for the hills. If you can't yet determine if it fits all those boxes, don't buy it yet. Learn more about it and do some more research. So I just handed you the world's easiest checklist for determining whether a property is worth investing in or not. So if that was helpful, smash that like button for me. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, hit that gigantic red subscribe button down there. I put a new video out every single week, and I really try and focus on the information that is going to help keep you out of trouble along your investing journey and hopefully make you more successful. So I will see you on the next video.